Hey everybody, welcome to RANDOMFIX, and this video is all about short power connections. And if you have a camper van and you thought about potentially putting in a short power plug but weren't sure where to put it, if it was going to be stealth enough, well, in this video I'm going to show you guys some different ways of looking at it and how I actually have a stealth plug on that camper van behind me and nobody can see. Hi everybody, this is RANDOMFIX, and this video is all about shore power and staying stealth. So I just came back from a 24 state trip across America, and it was wonderful, great people. And one of the things that I enjoyed doing was stealth camping, and I'm going to show you guys in this video how you can do that and not take a chance of damaging any of your panels. And it looks super cool, works really well. I've tried it out. So in this video today I'm going to tell you guys how and why I decided to go ahead and put my shore power plug right in here instead of the panel here in the front or in the back. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it as well. So my main reason for actually installing the plug towards the front here where nobody could see it was because I wanted to stay really stealth, and more importantly, I didn't want to take a chance of damaging the panel here, because then I would have to go ahead and get it repainted. If I had a different color, I would have to go ahead and blend in the surrounding panel, so it was going to be a big old headache, and I want to try to see if I could avoid it. So at first I thought about doing it here on the front bumper, but again, that's not going to be stealth. So instead I put it right in here, and it's a 30 amp connection that connects to a 15 amp home outlet like that, and I just go ahead and twist it in, which I'll show you guys towards the end of the video. And the nice thing about doing it this way is it's out of the way and it works. So let me show you guys how I did this, and for staying tuned until the end of the video, I'm going to include the links for the diagrams for the automatic transfer switch. So if you guys didn't know how to do this, I have nice colorful diagrams here. And more importantly, if you guys want to go ahead and incorporate an automatic transfer switch so you don't have to worry about potentially causing some problems in your vehicle if you plug it into shore power one day and your inverter's on, that's what the video in the description link down below will be. And right here I have my shore power plug-in, and as you guys can see, it's super stealth. And on a previous video I showed you how to hook up an automatic transfer switch, and this is my setup here. And a lot of times people actually go ahead and apply the shore power through one of the body panels, which is great if you have a camper conversion. However, it's not really stealth. So in my van I wanted something a little bit more stealth, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. I've already run the power here from the automatic transfer switch to the front, and it's coming out right here, and this is the tip of my connection right here. This is going to be a 10-3 wire, so it's marine wire and it's flexible. And in this episode right here I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and install a shore power adapter, but instead of putting it on one of the panels, I'm actually going to do something a little more stealth. We're going to go ahead and put it inside the Fender Liner, because if anything goes wrong, it's much easier to replace a Fender Liner, and also we're going to go ahead and be able to keep that stealthiness that we want. So for ours, we're actually going to be installing this right in the inner Fender Liner here, and your vehicle might be a little bit different as far as the quality of the material. This actually feels really good in here, and it's nice and solid. It's double backed, and I have a clear location to go ahead and drill into. And once I go ahead and drill in and get the hole lined up, then I'm going to go ahead and route the wire. I do have it in this anti-abrasion material here, and I'm going to go ahead and cord it at the very last second once we're done with the install. And let's go ahead and get this started. One of the most important things to do whenever you're making a hole like this, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and install this using a hole saw here. So mine happens to be a 2 1/8 right here. So make sure you use a hole saw the same size or a little bit bigger. But if you go a little bit smaller, guys, you're gonna basically have to go and file it all down. So take your time, get yourself the correct size hole saw. So now comes the fun and scary part. The one thing that's nice about going into the actual wheel liner here instead of the actual panel is in case you mess up, these cost about $30 to $120 depending on your vehicle. And now we're gonna go ahead and get this mounted. And as you guys can see, we got ourselves a hole. Now we're going to go ahead and use the diagram on the box, and here it is. So the green is very easy to identify. It's got a green screw, and the white basically has a lighter tone screw, and then the hot actually has this kind of goldish screw. Sometimes they'll actually be black, and all I got to do is go ahead, put this through the hole, connect my wires, and then make sure I position this flange the way I want it. So I'm going to put it like this, so you get to kind of position this however you see fit, and then make sure to go ahead and line up the gasket with the front here. And it looks like we got a total of 3 screws that go in, and we'll get this mounted. First things first, let's go ahead and strip these wires back. And you only want to go back about 2.5 inches because we're going to be covering the rest up, making sure we have a really nice clean connection, not with a lot of exposed wires. So I want to try to keep as much of this actual protection in place. So we got the wires stripped. So now I'm going to go ahead and use supplied hardware and get this mounted in there just like that. And when you're doing this, you're going to be a little bit short on space. So try to go ahead and see if you can put the Phillips bit right into the actual power tool here instead of the extension. So one thing I noticed when I was actually doing the installation, it was solid. It was like a B+, and I wanted to make it an A. So what I did is actually on the forward side of the screw, the one that's actually inside the wheel liner here, I put these metal screws. So now I'm actually pulling on this. This thing is tight. So 3 of these on the other side will hold this nice and tight. And I went ahead and wired it up. So it's wired up on here. I'm going to go ahead and route the wires now. Give it a nice pull test before you continue. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And I'll provide you guys with updates too in the video box below. And let's go ahead and get this all finished up. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the shore power video here and it's helpful, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, as it would mean a lot to me and it lets me know how I'm doing. And if you guys are new to the channel, why not subscribe, because it's absolutely free and it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much and stay tuned. Alright guys, so we are done. It is mounted, and one thing that's really nice about doing it in here, so a lot of times when you're actually plugged into shore power, if you go camping and it starts raining, the plug is actually exposed on the outer panel, so it gets rained on. A lot of times I would tuck it into the wheel well anyway, and this is nice because If they have a 30 amp hookup, I'm going to go ahead and plug into there. If they don't, I'm just going to use a 15 amp adapter to go ahead and step it down. And when the tire spins this way, most of the water is going to go that way. If you're really concerned, what you can do is go ahead and just tap a 4th screw right here, and that way you can go ahead and press this in place. Use a very short plastic screw with maybe a plastic wing nut to keep it in place. I'll let you guys know if I decide to do that in the video description box below. I'll have a link to this in the video box as well. And the only thing I can make this sweeter is if they actually included in a cover like this, so that way the boot would just slide off and the wire would go into here. So that would be really great. If you guys are watching this and you find one with the cover, I would definitely recommend it. I could not, and there is my install. So wires coming out, goes down, and everything is set up. Sorry about the sun, guys. It's just one of those days. So the install is complete. Wire comes down, and there's the final connection right here, and this thing is solid. So I am pulling on it. Everything's nice and tight. I got everything in protective cable, and mine happens to be away from the engine. If yours is not, maybe try some additional insulation, and make sure you use something like this. This is the anti-abrasion tubing right here, and I'll have a link to this below as well, and it just sleeves over it, which made it really nice and simple. And we are done. Super stealthy way of getting an RV plug in. And one other thing about this too is, if you guys are concerned about safety, just remember, whenever you're plugged into shore power, you're not going to basically be moving. So there's really no chance of this becoming an issue in an accident, because if you do get in an accident, you will not have any power there. So that is not going to be a live connection unless I'm actually plugged into shore power. Okay, so we actually had the cord finally arrive, and as a pro tip, guys, try to go ahead and connect your wire first before you tuck it back in, because it's a lot easier and you'll get a better connection. And I went ahead and tested everything out. Everything is checking out very well. So I'm automatically getting power back here to the compressor when I plug into shore power. So I'm going to show you guys the actual automatic switch now using these solar generators here, just to show you guys how everything is working. And all the hot wires are hot, and everything has power the way it's supposed to. So I got the solar generator plugged in where the inverter would normally go, and on my AC panel line I am good. I checked all the grounds are common. And now if we go ahead and plug into shore power, we got the compressor plugged in over here. So let's begin off with turning off the shore power, and turning on the power here. And what should be happening over here, as soon as you hear that click, this has power. Now we're going to turn on shore power again. And the way I have this wired up, this would actually act like my battery charger. That's why there's a little bit of a cutoff on the actual AC panel wire here. So this automatic transfer switch underneath there is working as designed. So really appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comments and questions, please leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Go ahead and disconnect from power here. Go ahead and get everything nice and clean, and make sure everything is tight. Give it a nice little tug to make sure that it's not going to pop out, and put it all back together, and you're good to go. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out the shore power video here, and the shore power connector here, and everything else that I use will be in the video link down below. And one other thing too I want to tell you guys is about my experience. So I actually didn't plug in as many times as I thought I would, because I have a big power bank on this, which is 1160 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries. So if you're going to spend some money, I would actually tell you guys to maybe spend the extra $1,000 or $2,000 and get yourself a bigger power bank, because you're not going to then have to go and rely on this or carry a gasoline generator or anything else. So check out the link below if you guys do want to also check out the automatic transfer switch install. And it works really well. It's hidden underneath there. And I'll cover that with you guys from A to Z in that video, and you guys will also find other videos down below that will show you how to do the solar, the DC to DC converters, building the batteries, and putting the BMSs together, the applications you need, and it's all pretty easy if you guys go ahead and follow along. Thank you so much.